Welcome to another edition of Shaun Soap Talks. I am talking today about The Bold and the Beautiful. Haven't caught up on Y&R for the last 3 days, so I still need to catch up on that. Managed to catch up on Bold and the Beautiful for last week. Specifically today, I watched Friday's episode, July 1st. Interesting episode, especially for it to be a cliffhanger. I feel like Cliffhanger Fridays is almost a misnomer. I feel like nobody really does the cliffhanger on Friday like how it used to be. I feel like a cliffhanger could be on any day, but every now and then they'll use Friday to kind of just toe drag it into the next week. Anyway, I thought the whole thing with Steffi and Thomas going over again their whole situation about Steffi was ridiculous, especially since Thomas has this huge secret that's about to come out. I feel like, his mind should be on that unless this is a whole deflection situation. And I mean, is Steffi that self-absorbed that she doesn't see the tension and the everything that's going on with the rest of the family, that she is so wrapped up in Quinn and in Liam and what should she do about Wyatt and how she feels about Wyatt, that she can't figure out that there's something big about to go down. Literally people outside of the Forrester family, as far as by blood, know about this secret. A dead man knows about this secret, and she's just going her life away oh, it's just all about me. I feel like everybody feeds into Steffi's "it's all about me" thing, and this is no offense to her fans. I think even some of her fans would admit that probably one reason why they like her is because she's the queen bee, or she's this butterfly that kind of flips around and is beautiful and fabulous and whatever. Nothing against her, it's just an observation. Also, I just thought it was interesting how they're jumping back into this thing between Eric and Quinn. Now, I commented on someone's comment before saying that unlike a lot of people, I actually am not opposed to a Quinn-Eric type deal. My only problem with it right now is just that literally 3 maybe 4 weeks ago, Quinn was just oh, Liam, blah blah blah. We were dealing with this bizarre love thing with Liam and Quinn, and then it does this 180 into this whole deal with her going back to trying to be with Eric or hooking up with Eric again. I thought it was really interesting too, playing into people's loneliness, because for all these people to be together, I have to agree with the Two Scoops column that was written this week as far as the theme of loneliness. Everybody, whether they were with somebody or not, just seemed really lonely within themselves, whether they were with a partner or not. And this loneliness is causing some serious destruction, which of course, is how it goes down in the soap operas. I mean, just this storm is raging outside here, Bold and Beautiful definitely has a storm brewing next week for sure. Really interested to see if Liam is gonna say what he saw. No offense to Liam's fans, but this is an arrogant little motherfucker. Say what you want about Wyatt, but if the secretary tells you you can't go in, he's not to be disturbed. The door is closed. Okay, nobody in the door. Another door is closed. Okay, because you're the prince, or you're William Spencer III, and daddy's petted you and made you think that everything is about you. All these chicks have made you think that everything is about you. You think you're just supposed to just open people's locked doors. Now, don't get me wrong. Dollar Bill is wrong as two left shoes. But this little motherfucker, excuse my French, this dude feels like it's his right to be able to, this is my dad's office, and despite the fact that he's asked me not to be in this room, I'm just going to open up the door and see what's going on. None of his business, okay? you care about these charities so much, why are you not at home looking up how to get these charities done? No, because that ain't how you want things. Because you're Liam Spencer the third, and you think everything is supposed to go your way despite your best efforts to hide that. Now, I'm not saying that he's this evil, maniacal guy. I don't think that. I think he's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, what dude just goes snooping around his father's office? Wyatt would have been snooping around people's office like that unless it was going to be to his benefit, which, you know, and watch, he's going to try to turn this around to his benefit. Or even worse, he's going to make it into this moral story, you know, like he's so upright and righteous and all that kind of stuff. And everybody's made him think that. I think that's a lot of my problems. Not even my anger with Liam, is my anger with everybody else that has puffed him up. It's the same thing with Ridge. Ridge, even if you watch the bonus video this past week, that was another thing I watched today and I thought was really interesting. It was a bonus video and it was Brooke and Ridge talking about, like, you know, a little bit about their history and what's going on. The title of it, if you go to the CBS website under the Bold and Beautiful part of this website, is called Why Bill Spencer. And it kind of addresses that a little bit, but also Rich said something in there that I would have never ever thought he would say. You know, Brooke is like, well, you know, I kind of used you as my moral compass, and, you know, whenever I was making a decision, I just, you know, thinking about what you would think about it kind of sometimes would help me. And he was like, you know, I kind of appreciate that, but, you know, that kind of thing made me think that I knew what the hell I was talking about. And that's how I find myself in a position now where I have claimed my grandson as my own, and I got to figure out how to undo this, because I thought I knew everything and my way was the right way. And I feel like that's how they're setting up Liam to be. Like, his way is the right way, and they're just setting him up to be this paragon that everybody's supposed to look up to, and he's just going to fail over and over again. That's why him and Steffi were having the issues that they've always had in the first place. Is that, you know, Liam was this paragon that she was supposed to aspire to, and she always came up short every time, whether either one of them wanted to admit that, whether it was because of the baby situation, whether it was because of the fact that she basically hoed him into marriage in the first place. You know, the whole thing with Ivy, how, you know, she basically came back in and was like, oh, you know, I know, because you got this little cute little relationship with Liam here, but, you know, I'm the grand passion of his life, so you just gonna have to step your little Australian ass to the side and just, it's gonna just be all right. I mean, and that wasn't cool. Let's just face it. That wasn't cool for her to just be like, oh, I know y'all married. I know that this was your boyfriend for like a whole 6 months before I even came back. And on top of that, you guys, you know, he was still chasing after Hope, but whatever, I'm just gonna step back in. Yeah, so, you know, why they're pretending like their relationship was on some grand passion at the time that Quinn kidnapped him, I don't know. I you know, it's kind of annoying for those of us who have been watching and know better, but we'll see. I am interested to see how this whole Brill situation is going to be, especially now that Liam's involved. We talked about in the group about maybe Liam and Katie getting together. I don't really see that as far as like passion wise. I could see like maybe some revenge sex, and I have to agree with Adam Michael in his 2 scoops a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. Like, they really missed the mark. They set up some really interesting storylines that they are just completely not even following up on. Why? Ooh, it's getting crunk. But why is it that Ridge, Caroline, and Thomas decided that they're gonna work this out amongst themselves? That's a soap opera. That's not how that's supposed to go. Rick was supposed to overhear something and threaten it and get back into the CEO chair. Like, what are they doing? Number 2, what they're missing out on is why, I know a lot of you guys are grossed out by it, but you have to admit, it was strangely fascinating. The better storyline for me would have been pursuing what Quinn and Liam had, and like them actually interacting together. If they're gonna go the full 9 and like forgive and forget and stuff, like forget this whole Hope Point 2.10 with, you know, Steffi saying, "Oh, Quinn, you can't come over, and I don't want you in my life, but I'm fucking your son." Yeah, like who thinks that's gonna work? Whatever. Apparently, Hope and Steffi do. But that, to me, if you're gonna have that Liam tension, like Quinn being the mother-in-law from hell is not the way to go about it. Quinn being the extra mother-in-law from hell who is banging your former fiance in front of your face while you're married to her son, that is out there. Like, they should have went with that if they're gonna go into this whole deal. Or bring, God, you know, forgive me for even saying this, even bring Ivy back. We all know how much I disdain Ivy, but her and Wyatt together actually, to me, were a better couple than Steffi and Wyatt. Steffi and Wyatt don't actually suck. I mean, if I thought that she was making a clean break, I think they would have like exciting fashion shows. Like that's one of the interesting things that I liked about with Hope and Wyatt was that at least they tied it to the business too, like where he was taking her on these exotic locales. Maybe this is what the upcoming shoot in Monte Carlo is. Some of us have seen the different pictures from that. So hopefully that's kind of taking that in that direction. And we'll see what happens. Well, since it's kind of storming a little bit and it's my lunch break, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. Hopefully we get to have an exciting week of Bold and the Beautiful. I hope that Dollar Bill go ahead and like stands his ground against, you know, Katie. I feel like a couple of weeks ago, I really wish they had just went ahead and imploded Beatty, whether or not Brill was going to get back together or not. At this point, I don't even know if I want Brill together, especially under these circumstances. Like these stolen kisses and stallions on the wall and all of that. That's not what I want. That's not what I fell in love with. I fell in love with the Brill that was taking hot air balloons and just knowing what the other was thinking with a smile and whisking off to Abu Dhabi and you know, Monaco and stuff like that. That's the Brill I want. This sneaking into the stallion cave. That's what we'll call it, the stallion cave. Sneaking into the stallion cave and all of that. That's I can do without that. I'm good. And I just really thought it was weird. Oh, I know I said I was going to sign off, but one more thing about Eric and Quinn's situation. Like, it was kind of sad to me that Eric was, you know, texting everybody and calling everybody like, oh, you know, you want to go to lunch and blah, blah, blah. You know, although I feel like it would have been better, and I wish he had called Brooke, because then that way it would have been a way for her to get away from Dollar Bill before, you know, before Lame found them. But anyway, it was great chatting with you guys again. Of course, the groups are always amazing. I'm in a couple of different groups. I won't name them all, but anyway, feel free to check out my videos, comment on my videos, share my videos if you so choose. I do these purely for fun. It's not really like a deal for me. I just like sharing my views because I've loved these soap operas for so long, and I want them to continue to keep going, despite the fact that they're kind of going to hell in a handbasket. But anyway, that's entertainment, and that's all, folks. I love you guys, and remember to stay bold and beautiful.